If you could go back to before you started high school, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you do now? I set out to find what advice people were given by others before they started high school, what they'd tell themselves if they could go back, and what advice they have for next year's incoming freshmen. Here's what I found out by encouraging people to look back. What advice have you been given before you started high school?
I think the main thing people said was to just you have to work hard and don't you have to actually study and things like that. And I think that was good advice, but I didn't really follow it at first.
No one really gave me any advice. I just went out there and tried.
I don't know if it counts as advice, but everybody just told me it was going to be extremely difficult and hard.
They always tell you it's not going to be like middle school and you're going to actually have to study and do stuff.
My parents were just make sure you do your homework, because high school's hard, just do your homework.
Another thing that I heard from other people was be involved in a lot of different activities.
I don't remember that much, but I remember distinctly that my history teacher told me your friend group will change completely. No matter what you do, it will change completely and you have no control over that.
Before I started high school, I think my parents always told me, just do your best. That was all that anyone could ever ask for.
Probably knowing my mother, and if I really think about it, she probably said something, just do the best you can, try hard.
I was told not to overload myself on classes and work and things that I wanted to do.
My dad said, be careful how much you do, because it might be a lot of commitment.
Honestly, the only thing I can think of is don't let boys run your life.
The single most thing that I probably remember was from my dad. I don't even know if it really pertained to high school, but it was just the whole teenage years thing. And he always told me that you're always going to know people who fall into teenage stupid. As far as making mistakes that as a teenager you make them, and it's just you don't really realize the outcome of your mistake, like driving too fast or things like that.
What advice would you give yourself if you could go back?
Okay, I'd say don't stress so much about figuring out yourself and figuring out who you are, because it just kind of happens. And also study and pay attention, things like that.
I would tell myself not to be around mean people, because that ruins you, and that people don't change at all, so don't wait for it.
I would probably tell myself to focus more on school and less on my social life.
I would probably go back and tell myself that not to let anybody make you feel small, because anybody who tries to make you feel small is even tinier themselves, so there's really no point in being around them. Don't stress over the petty little things, because in 4 years you're not even gonna remember what those things were anyways, so there's not really any point in dwelling on them.
To take more chances than I did, because take the classes that you don't know if you're going to do great in. It could be fun.
Don't take things so seriously. I think I missed a lot of fun in certain things. I was a crazy sports nut when I was in high school, and it was work, and I made it work, and I should have had a lot more fun with it.
I would probably say actually do your homework and actually try hard in geometry, so you don't get a D in geometry.
Stop trying to convince yourself that you like things that you don't. And that's the only way I can phrase that. I just spent so much time trying to tell myself to go to school for business and do really practical things, and it was just never anything I really loved. It was just what I thought I should do.
I would probably tell myself to stop worrying about all of the cliques and everything, because that was something that I was a little bit nervous about, because I kind of just immediately slid into them. So if I were to tell myself something, I would tell myself to not worry about making friends and finding people who like what you do, because they kind of just come on to you naturally.
Don't be afraid to ask for help is my biggest one.
I would tell myself don't sweat the small stuff. That those people who are not your friends and don't support the things that you love and that really make you happy are not the people you should surround yourself with.
I probably would tell myself to find friends more quickly that I could really rely on, because I had some friends, but it took me a while to find like a core group of friends to stay with.
To be more involved from the beginning, to get don't hold back, just have fun with it all.
How do you think that might have changed your high school experience and your life in general?
I don't know if it would change your life in general, but I think the more involved you are, the more friends you make, and the more people you meet, and you don't know what it could have done for you, but it still could be good.
Is there anything else you would change?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would take it with reckless abandon fun, like throw caution to the wind kind of thing. But yeah, I would try to be less calculated and just kind of roll with it.
I just think I would have not been as, maybe I would have tried to have been less stressed and maybe try to come out of my shell a little more. I was very quiet and introverted and didn't give a lot of opportunities a chance, and I wish I kind of would have.
I don't know if it's significant enough to really change that, but I would definitely say that I just focused way too much on what other people thought, or making other people happy, friends, that kind of thing. And I really should have just focused more on school and even myself.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that I wish hadn't happened, but I also don't know if I do them any different because I learned from them. So I don't really know.
No, because I like who I am now, so I think it worked out pretty well.
I would have made a lot of different changes, or like who I hung out with and stuff.
I don't know. I mean, there are many things that I would change because, we were all strange, insecure little middle schoolers. But I think I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone through what I had gone then, so I don't think I'd change it.
I actually probably wouldn't change anything because I feel like I would be the same person that I am today. And I think it could have turned out a lot worse, or it could have turned out better, but I wouldn't really change anything because I don't want to jeopardize what I have now.
No. Because why would I change who I am now? Because then I don't know how it would have turned out.
Yeah, I would do a little bit more. I wouldn't change anything dramatic or anything.
What advice would you give to 14-year-olds or people that haven't started high school?
There are going to be a lot of changes, but don't be afraid of them. It'll come, things will change.
Life gets better. That's what I would say. Yes, life gets better. Because at 14, what can you really do? You have to rely on everybody for everything. You can't work, so you can't really make any money. So you rely on your parents to take you places, to feed you, to provide you with things. Life gets better. It gets better as you go through high school, and then once you get out, it's even way better.
Be yourself, which just sounds really cliche, but don't worry about what other people think, and just talk to people, try to make friends. Basically, yeah.
Be yourself. Don't try to impress people, because people suck, and they aren't worth it.
You should probably actually do your homework, and people are going to be mean to you, so you should just do what you want to.
Grades are just so incredibly important. So I definitely would recommend that, people really focus on their studies. And then again too, even as adults, when I talk to other adults and see how that translated, if they focused on their academics in high school, how much enjoyment they, get out of life later on. And, I just definitely see the benefit of having that good solid education behind them and having that focus, when they're younger.
I would say to actually study and do things, but not freak out too much, because I feel like I worried about things that ended up not mattering at all, and just to kind of chill out a little bit.
Don't stress out too much about things. High school's, people say it's going to be so hard, but it's really not. There's definitely going to be times where it's difficult and you're not going to understand things, but even if it seems like your individual teachers are going to help you, there's always going to be somebody there who wants to help you. So if you have patience and you just pay attention and try and find help, there's not really any reason you shouldn't be able to just do everything you need to do.
There's this great life after high school, and you just have to know that it's going to happen. You just have to get through it and try to enjoy it too, because there are some really good people, that you can come across, and they could be lifelong friends. So try to embrace it, but then understand that it's only for a short period of time, and you will get through it. It will end.
High school is a time for decisions, but people will make you feel like you have to decide right away. Really, you have 4 years and even more than that to decide. You have your whole life to figure out what you want to do or be.
Get involved with, clubs or activities. Have fun within bounds. And just make the most of it. But also know that high school doesn't dictate the rest of your life.
I would say find an advocate for yourself. When you are first coming into high school, it's good to have a teacher that you feel is a safe person, someone that you could talk to if there's anything. I would say to understand that everyone's been in your shoes. Everyone has been a freshman going into high school at one point in time or another and should understand the experience. I would say sign up for as many things as you want. Don't ever feel that because you're in 9th grade or 10th grade or an underclassman that you don't have the right to try to sign up for classes that really motivate you, because those are the places you're going to meet some of your best friends. And sometimes the friends that you have in middle school won't be the friends that you have in high school, because you will start to pursue other interests, and be okay with that. It's okay to make new friends and to kind of blossom out. That's totally okay.
Follow things that you like. Don't spend too much time worrying about like what your parents want you to do or what your friends want you to do. Just look for what you're passionate about and then follow it. Take classes involving it, look at colleges involving that, and you'll be a lot happier through high school. It took me a long time to learn that.